China's debt trap Belt and Road strikes Nepal. Bribery, lies, and a useless airport. If you believe our headline and the following texts are exaggerated or inaccurate, please check the links to reputable sources at the end of this post, and you will find that this post is true. Nepal's biggest ever corruption case has ripped away Beijing's mask. Nepal's anti-graft body has charged 55 people, including former ministers, senior officials, and the Chinese contractor China CAMC Engineering over the Chinese-funded Pokhara International Airport, officially exposing a BRI flagship as a corrupt, inflated, predatory deal. The Tribune. This airport was sold as connectivity and friendship. In reality, it became a pipeline for siphoning money back to China. Investigators allege around $74 million was effectively looted through cost inflation and manipulation of procurement on a project financed by a roughly $216 million loan from China Exim Bank, OCCRP. Every key lever was controlled by Beijing's machine. A Chinese state-owned firm got the construction contract. A Chinese policy bank provided the financing. The price tag was pushed far beyond reasonable benchmarks, padded with consultancy, equipment, and service items that conveniently benefited Chinese entities. Local elites were allegedly bought off to look the other way. This is not sloppy governance. This is a system designed to corrupt. The Tribune. The brutality is quiet but ruthless. Pokhara International Airport barely has international flights. It generates meager revenue, yet Nepal must repay the Chinese loan for decades. Beijing knew the traffic projections were weak. Beijing pushed the project anyway. The goal was not Nepal's development. The goal was another hook in a strategically located, vulnerable neighbor. The Print. This fits a familiar pattern. Sri Lanka's Hambantota port ended in a 99-year lease to China when debts became unpayable, an outcome built on inflated loans and opaque terms. CSIS. Kenya's standard gauge railway has been mired in accusations of overpricing, secrecy, and debt stress, with Chinese firms and banks at the center of the web. Stiftend Wissenschaft und Politik. All in a discussion. Pokhara has not an exception. It is a textbook page from the CCP's playbook. Push oversized projects, inflate cost, corrupt the local system, lock in long-term dependence, and call it a win-win cooperation. Nepal's investigators have dared to say out loud what many governments only whisper, that China's government is not a benign partner, but a calculating power that uses corruption as a deliberate instrument of influence. This case should stand as a warning. Where Beijing's money goes under the BRI, sovereignty, transparency, and accountability are often the first casualties. Pokhara International Airport is not just a scandal in Nepal, it is evidence in concrete and steel of how brutally China's rulers are willing to act to expand their reach. A small request. If you found this podcast interesting, so I'd appreciate it if you give it a like. You'd also be doing us a huge favor if you subscribe to this YouTube channel. Thank you. Source materials and further reading. Pokhara Airport Corruption Case, Investigative Overview. OCCRP. Nepal filed corruption charges against 55 officials, Chinese contractor over Pokhara Airport, 2025. Detailed reporting on Nepal's largest corruption case at Pokhara. The Print. Pokhara Airport Project. Nepal's anti-graft body charges Chinese firm in the largest corruption case. The Print. Corruption and manipulation within the Belt and Road Initiative. Foundation for Defense of Democracies. Below the Belt and Road. Corruption and Illicit Dealings in China's Global Infrastructure, monograph, PDF. Sri Lanka's Hambantota Port and Debt Trap Dynamics, CSIS. Game of Loans, How China Bought Hambantota, analysis, CSIS. Chinese Megaprojects, Debt and Controversy in Kenya, SWP Berlin. Chinese Megaprojects in Kenya, Public Controversies and the Future of Kenya's Debt. Policy Brief, PDF.